Hey guys, it's Chelsea and welcome to another Talk Tuesday. I should have filmed this last Tuesday because that's when all these stories are kind of from. However, I didn't want to have like a Talk Tuesday every week because I feel like it would just be too much, and because I only post once a week, that would be all there is on my channel. So I gave a week break from it and now I am back with another Talk Tuesday, and this one is there. I just have so much to tell. So much has gone on. These are pretty much all little stories that I have, and then one that's just talking about something that's going on locally with me right now. But anyway, so if you're not familiar with my Talk Tuesdays, I'm just, it's kind of like a story time but with shorter stories that wouldn't be good for like a full-length video, as well as just talking about things that are going on in the world and things like that right now. So without further ado, let's get into it. First thing is a story about a guy falling asleep at the wheel, and it was so scary to see because I'd heard about that but I'd never seen it before, and it was really scary. So me and my sister are pulling up to a stoplight where there are two turning lanes to turn onto a road, and the light turns green and the one lane is not moving, and we are in the outside lane and we are like going, and everyone's honking, and I'm just like, what's wrong? Is this guy's car breaking down? That's what I assumed. And as we pull by, the windows are down, we look in, and this guy is just like hunched over his wheel, and it was surreal to see something like that because first of all, like, this guy's asleep. I don't know how he had enough pressure for the brakes to stay on, but like it was just crazy to see. And of course, me and my sister are then flipping out. My sister does have her EMT license and she has dealt and seen things like that before. And so I'm sitting here like, should we go back? Like, blah, blah, blah. And it was just so scary. And the thing is, unless you were passing him, like, you couldn't tell that was the case. Like, the people behind him probably just thought his car was like broken down or something, because until we passed him, we couldn't tell he was hunched over. And the thing is, with a situation like that, it's very tricky because what you're supposed to do is lean into the window, throw it in park, and try and turn the car off if you can. Because the problem is he is asleep, and the moment he wakes up, it's possible he's gonna let go of that brake and go into oncoming traffic. And the reason I think we didn't stop was because in order for us to stop, we would have had to put our car in the middle of the intersection right in front of his car, and if anything would have slipped up, it would have been like our car would have been totaled. And we ended up like, when we were coming home for a few minutes changing and then going back out, and when we went out, he wasn't there anymore. So I'm not sure what ended up happening, but it was one of those things, like, as it happened, I wrote it in my little notes in my phone to do in a Talk Tuesday because it was so surreal. And my sister was saying that usually when people try like a new strand of drugs, that happens, especially with like marijuana and things like that, that happens. Or he just has the the condition where you like fall asleep. I forget what it's called. But anyway, so that was just super scary to see. And it's freaky, the fact that like something like that could happen. And like, what if that happens to someone? Like, what if that would have happened to the guy when he was like actually like driving on the road? Like, it was actually a good thing he was at a stoplight. Like, it's just surreal. So the next thing is another story time about a frog that traumatized me, everyone. I'm still traumatized to this day. So I do not like frogs, not because of my choice, but because of my mom. My mom hates frogs. Like, literally, she will kill every frog in the world if she could. And so I have kind of inherited that sort of feeling towards frogs. And so there's this one morning I got up early and I was taking a shower, and as I opened the door to leave the bathroom, a frog, this is upstairs. I have a two-story house. So this frog was upstairs, like by our bedrooms. Like, oh my God. This frog jumps right across. So this thing almost jumps on me, and it jumps across. It's this nasty frog. And it's at the wall straight across from the bathroom. I'm freaking out because no one's home. I'm home alone, and my boyfriend was supposed to be on his way, but not for a couple hours. So I call him like, get your ass over here. Like, there's a frog in the house. So anyway, he says, oh, I'll get it together, blah, 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 and I'll be on his way. He lives like 40 minutes away, so I knew something else was going to have to happen because I just couldn't leave the bathroom. Like, I was literally debilitated by this frog. Like, the fear in me was so strong, I couldn't function, I couldn't move. So I had the door cracked, and I was so scared he was going to jump into the bathroom because this wasn't one of those frogs that was like still. This was a frog that was jumpy, just jumping everywhere. Like he couldn't stay still. So he jumps across to the wall across from the bathroom. I see him, he's like chilling there. And then he turns around and looks at me. This motherfucker looks at me. And I'm like, oh my God. So I'm like trying to shut the door but keep it cracked so I can like see what's going on. And I was just like, I was dying. And so then he jumps across to the wall. Like, I'm probably not doing a very good description, but it's like a hallway, bathroom. He jumps to the other wall, then he jumps to the wall where like the bathroom's on, and I just hear him. I'm in the bathroom on my phone with my mom, like, can dad come home? Like, I can't move. I can't get out of this bathroom. I need to brush my hair. Like, I was debilitated. And I just hear him jumping in the hallway, and I was like, oh, just disgusting. And then, so I finally get the courage. I don't know where it came from. I got the courage to leave the bathroom. I look out. I call the dogs upstairs. I'm like, get up here. And for I don't know what reason. And I see him. And he's on the floor. He's no longer on the walls in front of my bedroom. And this was a frog that was small enough to fit underneath the crack, but frogs don't usually like hop like that. So I don't think he could have gotten under there anyway. But, oh, so he's in front of my bedroom and I'm just losing it. I'm like, if this thing goes in my bedroom, I will die. I will die right here. Like, I'm done. Like, I can't. So my dog Wiggles, I'm getting so like just crazy about this story. My dog Wiggles eats frogs and lizards because she's a Dachshund and she has that kind of hunter little dogness to her. So I didn't want her to kill the frog because I don't like frogs, but I am not, like, I don't like killing things, like even bugs. Like, if I can save the bug, I will, because like especially going through depression about like death and subjects like that, I have gotten a whole new appreciation for life and all types of life, even down to bugs. I don't feel like my life is superior to that of a bug. So I don't like killing things if I don't have to, but I will. Like, I'm not just gonna let this ant run all over me, you know what I mean? But anyway, so Wiggles sees it and goes for it, and she ends up taking it into another room. And I was just like, oh my God, thank God. Like, I mean, it's not good for dogs to eat frogs because like the layer on their skin makes them foam and could make them sick if the frog has something on it. But I was just like, oh. So Wiggles ended up taking it, and I wasn't even sure if it was dead, and I had to like peek into the room, and it's like on the floor, like missing a leg. And I was like, oh my God. And I was just so scared that there were others. Like, I had absolutely no idea. Like, we get frogs in my house a lot, but always downstairs. We've never had one upstairs. So now I'm just so traumatized. Like, every morning just looking out there with my phone, making sure, because where that frog was, I had to have walked by that frog. That frog, if it would have jumped on me, I would have lost my mind. Okay? Like, y'all don't understand. It was just crazy. And here I am, like, butt-ass naked, doing I can't even talk, during all this, because it was trapping my door. And oh my God, so I'm like in a towel, like just like, come on, someone come and save me. Like, oh my God, it was like Rapunzel but without the hair. Like, it was just so bad. Oh my God. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is the Jurassic World movie. OMG, everyone. So I watched this movie last week, and it was one of those things where I didn't want to watch it. But you guys, I've talked about that I watch ASMR videos on my channel, and I came across this girl who did an ASMR video role playing like a person at the park, like a tour guide or what have you. So, and she ended up going through, I guess there's like a website made for that movie and things like that, like kind of portraying that it's an actual park. And she went through it, and anyway, it actually ended up interesting me. I didn't want to see it because the Jurassic Park movies have always given me the heebie-jeebies, and I don't like all the blood and gore, and it's just scary. Like, I think as humans, we always think we're like at the top because of our technology, but it's very scary to think that there was something, there still could be something. We haven't explored like everything yet, but there's something that was much greater than us, and you know, we would be the ones running for our lives, and instead of all the bugs and stuff that we kill, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just very scary and very unsettling to think that something like that walked the earth at one point. So anyway, so I've never really been into them, but I was like, you know what, this movie actually looks pretty good, so I'm gonna watch it. So I ended up watching it with my boyfriend. First of all, it was very dragging on. I did enjoy it. I was kind of on the edge of my seat the whole time because I kind of knew what was going to go on. I knew a dinosaur was going to get loose. But it was kind of a very slow progression of that, but whatever. I'm not a movie critic. I don't know all the, all the stuff. But anyway, I ended up really enjoying the movie. It's definitely one of those, at least for myself, that kind of like fucks you up after you watch it. And I know that sounds kind of weird and bad, but it's just one of those movies where so much goes on, so many people die, so much happens, and at the end you're just there like, wait, what? Like, what is life? You know what I mean? Like, Inception was one of those movies for me that just fucks me up. A lot of movies like fuck me up, just fuck up my reality, like just make me take a minute, and that was one of those movies, especially with the whole thinking of that once walked the earth and things like that, and the chance that someone might be crazy enough to actually do what is being done in those movies, like create a park with genetically made dinosaurs, and it's all just very, very scary. It always brings up the question of, would you go if a park like that was to open? Would you go? I probably would go, even though I'd be super duper scared, and I'd probably stay with the little kitty ones. But it would be definitely very interesting to see something like that. But obviously, the people that make the movies understand that as humans it probably wouldn't go so well, and a dinosaur would probably get loose and we would probably all die. But no, I'm just kidding. But anyway, it was a super great movie. Yeah, a little slow, and there was a couple things that I didn't really understand. Like, if you haven't watched the movie, don't listen to my commentary. I might ruin a few things for you. But like the older boy, like the 16-year-old boy or whatever, I thought his character was a little almost unnecessary. Like their whole connection, him and the little brother, how he's like being a douche to him the whole time, then at the end he's like, oh, my brother. Like, it was weird, the dynamic between the mom and the dad, and then her crying with the sister, the whole family. Like, the park stuff was very interesting, but the whole family dynamic thing, I get why it was in there, but it didn't fully make sense to me. And some of the things they were saying, I was like, wait, what? Like, what was the one line? Like, where the dad says, oh, our last family breakfast. I wasn't sure if he was talking about the whole divorce thing that gets brought on later, or that the kid, like, joking the kids are gonna die, But it was just weird. There was like some things that just didn't fully make sense to me, but because I watched it twice actually. And anyway, but all in all, a good movie, very interesting. And I definitely liked the whole modernization of the whole Jurassic Park thing. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is a new kind of law going on in Florida right now that there's just kind of a little story behind it, and then I just kind of want to talk about it because I did just talk about underage drinking in a video or two ago, maybe my last video, I don't remember. But so my family has like an annual Halloween party, and so we were literally the day before just going everywhere. Was it the day before or the morning of? No, the day before, the Friday. It was on a Saturday. We were just everywhere just buying stuff. Like, I went to Sam's Club, Walmart, Publix. I went to so many grocery stores. And of course, my mom's friend that was with us wanted some wine while we were at Publix. So we're checking out, and the cart was in the way. So my mom hands me her card to slide. And the lady was like, wait, is she 21? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, I'm just sliding the card because the cart's in the way and it's just easier. Like, it's not like my mom, like, I know my mom's pin and everything, and it's just kind of like, if I'm closer to the thing, it's just like, whatever. Like, we do it everywhere. Like, my mom, I don't know, whatever. Like, there always seems to be something in the way, and my mom just has me swipe her card all the time. Like, it's no biggie. So, what's it called? So... the lady was like, oh, well, okay, so here's my thing. The way the lady handled the situation was so just like not okay, because she was making it such a big deal. She's like, oh, if she's not 21, there's alcohol in the bill. Like, you have to swipe it. It's a new law, and it's against the law for her to swipe, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just sitting here like, wait a motherfucking second. If the woman who's putting her, like, my mom is obviously over 21 and she's buying alcohol, if she's consenting to it, this is her card. This is not my debit card. This is not my cash. This is her money. If she's consenting to it, just because I'm the one that does the physical sliding, it's her pen. It's, you know what I'm saying? I'm just kind of like, are you fucking serious? Does the people in Florida, I don't know if it's nationwide or just Florida, it's probably just Florida. I'm just sitting here like, do the people in Florida really think that that is going to stop people from buying alcohol? And the way that lady handled it was just so, like, if she'd been like, oh, ma'am, I'm sorry, if you're not 21, the new law is that, someone 21 or older has to like do the actual buying, the purchasing, if there's alcohol in the bill, I would have just stepped back and been like, okay, mom, like let me fucking move this cart, like whatever. But the way the lady handled it was like, it's the new law and blah blah blah. I was just like, okay, like this is my face, because I just shut down. Like when people piss me off to another level, I was just like, okay. I was like, okay, mom, can you come over here? Like, I'll hit cancel. You know, the card was already slid. I was already typing the pin when she does all this. So I'm like, okay. So I hit cancel. She's like, what are you going to do? Like, this is literally her. What are you going to do? It's a new law. Like, what do you want? And I'm just looking at her like, this is me. Okay. I was just like, okay. And the way she was looking at me was like, she was like rolling her eyes. I'm sitting here like, fuck you, bitch. Like, I'm just like, first of all, Publix is supposed to be this outstanding customer service. When you have some bitchy woman who is just like, it's the law, it's the law. I'm like, I'm not saying that I'm not consenting to the law. I'm just over here like, first of all, I don't understand it. I think it's a waste of fucking time, but I'm just waiting for my mom to come over here and you're pissing me off. So this is me. I'm just not engaging. I'm just like, I was just like, okay, like this is literally me. I'm just like, okay, I'm waiting for my mom. She's like typing her pin, and I just stepped back, and I was just so pissed off. Like that lady pissed me off so much. I really wanted to go to the management there and just be like, listen, like I understand there's a new law and everything, but you need to teach your employees how to handle it, because I'm very upset at this person, because I don't get upset like over stuff like that a lot, but it upset me a lot, and I was really pissed off. Like I was just fuming when I left there. And there's always something every time I go to that Publix. Like my mom picked out a candy that wasn't buy one get one free, but they were the same price, and they like wouldn't honor it for us. I was just sitting here like, are you fucking serious? The sign doesn't say you have to get two of the same candy. It's always something at that Publix. So I don't think I'm going to shop there anymore, but I'm definitely going to try and go online and do a little survey and just be like, listen, like it's one thing to enforce the law, go ahead, but it's another thing of how you treat the people when you're doing so. Like don't just sit here, it's the law, like what are you going to do? It's the law, like okay, it's the law. I was just like, shut the fuck up. Like this lady went on for a good 30 seconds, which is a long time when you're having a conversation like that, just going on about how it's the law. And I was just like, okay, shut the fuck up, you old ass bitch. Anyway, it's really sad that you're working at fucking Publix at your age, so I'm sorry. Anyway, the last story is one that is, it freaks me out, and it's something that could possibly be explainable, but it's not really explainable. So this is kind of like a ghost story, paranormal, I don't know what happened. So basically, my parents aren't home and I'm chilling at my house, and I hear our house phone ring. So I run down there to answer the house phone, and I don't look at it. I just saw that it said my mom's name. So I answer it and there's no one there. So I'm like, okay. So I hang up the phone, and as I'm hanging up the phone and I look down, it said my mom's name and the house number. Like the house had somehow called itself. And I was just like, what the hell? And you know how you can like pre-program stuff in the phone? So I was just sitting here like, okay, I guess I'll call my mom and see if she called from her cell phone, see what happened. So I call my mom like, hey, did you just call the house? She's like, no. I was like, what the hell? So then I call my dad. I'm like, hey, did you call the house? He was like, no. I was like, what the fuck? So I have no idea. You know, I was talking to my dad about it. I was like, is it possible that the house messed up and called itself? Like, he's like, no, that doesn't happen. And it was scary, and it's still unexplainable. I'm sure it's something, maybe like a wire, something happened, I'm not sure, or someone else called and it just came up as that. Like, I have no idea, but it was kind of freaky. And in the moment I was like, is this like the setup of When a Stranger Calls movie part 2? Like, you know what I mean? And no one was answering their phone at the time too, and it was scaring me because my mom and my dad answered their phone, but my sister didn't answer, my friend Abby didn't answer, my boyfriend didn't answer. I was like, why aren't these people answering their fucking phone? And then I finally get a hold of my friend Abby, and she's like, you gonna die? And I was like, thanks girl, thanks. But anyway, so yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. I've been a little busy lately working and everything, so hopefully my work will slow down, but since I was part of the store opening, it's just been crazy. So I will see you guys next time here on Life of Chelsey, and bye-bye.